Good evening, everyone, dear friends, colleagues, investors, and all the participants of today's meeting. It is this Thursday, the 22nd of May, and traditionally we're having a live broadcast with the head of RSW Systems, Maxim Isyp, who is me. Welcome to our today's meeting on this wonderful spring day. There are very few days left of spring. We have summer ahead of us, which is a very good time for our operations, and very soon you will know what kind of a fruitful and intriguing beginning of the summer 2025 we're going to have, but we'll talk about that later. But before we start today's meeting, we haven't done a roll call for quite some time, and I would like to know what countries and cities our guests are. So here's my request to you. Please tell us what city and country you are from or attending this meeting from. I already see Alexander said he is from Slavgorod. Very good. Pärnu, Estonia. Then we have Sofia, Bulgaria. Nicosia from Cyprus. This is cool. We have a very wide geography. Then we have Korolev, another city. Then we have Cuttack, Odisha, India. Then we have Krasnodar from Russia. Then we have Riga from Latvia, Finland. Then we have the Czech Republic, Moscow region. We have New York City from the United States. Then we have another participant from the United States, Dawood Telford. Then we have Maharashtra. I surmise it means India. We have several countries, several continents, dozens of countries. That's very cool. Awesome. And I see other Indian cities like Jharkhand, Jammu and Kashmir. Well, usually we have a lot of guests from India. And India is a huge country. It's a whole subcontinent in terms of pure territory, let alone population. Okay. This is very good. It means that we are indeed a huge international crowd investing community. And the geography is going to expand. And I'm sure in the next 3 to 5 years, there won't be a single city left on Earth that wouldn't have investors into the string transportation technology. I'm not talking about countries, I'm talking about cities and towns, and taking into account what kind of events have already happened in 2025, I think this is quite a realistic prediction, considering that ahead of us we have the launch of the updated platform, Micron Global, our rebranded platform, and we're going to have a different marketing approach, and everything's going to be new considering related to our operations, and eventually it will all lead to having thousands or better hundreds of thousands of investors in USD in every city and town. Today, traditionally, we are going to cover the recent news that happened in the area of string transportation technology development. And in my opinion, the most important piece of news was Dr. Unitsky's video with answers to questions asked by investors during the direct live meeting held in the United Arab Emirates. And then there are quite a lot of questions received by email address that he has on his personal website. Now tell me, what kind of impressions did you have after watching the video? I will make a short extract and I will point to the main, in my opinion, arguments in that video, but I would like to hear your personal opinion and what you liked in the words said by Dr. Unitsky. And while you are writing, I'm going to translate one comment, which is in Spanish. Let me see what it means. I hope it is Spanish. So here what it says, I guess it's more like a request. It's very good that we have Spanish-speaking partners showing interest with presentations in Spanish, and we would like to have more presentations in Spanish and meetings in Spanish. Okay, that's very on point. And starting summer, we're going to increase the number of languages that we use during our events, and also the number of languages we're going to use on our updated platform. And Spanish will be among those languages. Let me read your other comments regarding the video address by Dr. Unitsky. Dear colleagues, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Or, you know what? Don't answer. I will ask Ruslan, our moderator, to tell me if this is an okay distance, or should I speak louder or put the microphone closer? We need to boost it a little bit. Okay, then. I will draw it closer. Good. Let me read your comments. The last fifth issue video was super. I liked everything. A lot of new information about targeted projects. I agree. Everything is exciting and inspiring. Great. I liked everything. We're gonna wait for the results. Then Suraj wrote something in English. Let me have it quickly translated. I found a lot of growth by watching Unitsky's video. Well, I can't but agree with you, because this is how it is. We are going back to this particular comment. Let me make a note of it, about a lot of growth. Next. I liked everything. We're gonna wait for the results. Well, I read that already. It was written by Nikolai. Maya writes, I was very glad to hear about such a huge number of construction projects, UST construction projects. Someone says, commercial project in Nepal. This was written by Vlastimil. Okay, what's next? In this video, we were able to see the results of the work of the last 3 to 5 years. It was written by Anton. Anton, absolutely right. And let me add here that the last 3 years, starting from 2022 to 2025, were indeed friends very stood out by very hard work. Well, not only those 3 days, of course, the entire 11 years were marked by hard work as far as Dr. Unitsky and his team are concerned. But in the last 3 to 5 years, and I would single out 2022, 2025 as the most productive years. Now we are reaping the fruit of that hard work, because now we start seeing the results in the form of interest explained by different entities in dozens of countries. And commercial projects, friends, will start popping up in bigger and bigger numbers. And I told you and predicted this last year in November, December, if my memory serves me right. I remember I emphasized that as well. Dmitry wrote very too much honesty, he says, because the competitors are out there listening. Well, as far as the competition is concerned, we had a meeting about it where we compared the achievements by companies that started their journey together with us, or those who started their journey dozens of years before us. And honestly, I think competitors our competitors are companies that positioned themselves as the creators of innovations in transportation. Only those companies can call themselves our competitors. But the facts show that at this moment, only String Transportations Inc., as the engineering company and the entire UST structure, is the only one out of all those competitors who call themselves competitors who can actually compete with us. You know, some companies try to develop the Hyperloop technology, and it is not just one company. There are around 3 of them in total. But as you can see, Hyperloop technology has not even reached the testing stage, let alone certification or going into the market. Other companies simply went bankrupt, and other companies are doing something, but far from anything tangible. Galina wrote that the movement has started. We see steady, confident development of the company. Results are growing. It is very good. Valentina says, I'm very happy that we've covered so many countries. It's a noble cause initiated by Dr. Unitsky, and we are at the final stage towards our well-deserved rewards. Yes, and Dr. Unitsky mentioned that as well when he was commenting remuneration. And let me reiterate here that we're talking about payment of remuneration based on the performance of the year 2025, which will end in December, which means that we can expect payments in 2026 based on the performance of 2025. Dmitry wrote, I was quite surprised by the number of projects to be launched this year alone. Dmitry, thank you very much for your comment, but I would like to clarify, not to be launched, because launching a project is like bringing into operation. That's how some people can perceive it, understand it. The better way here, the better way of stating it, it would be to start the operations or start the project. That's the better way to do it, you know, because remember we were saying that some of the projects are in the pipeline, which means that some of them are at the negotiation stage, some of them are at the approval stage, and everything starts with pre-design and design works, then feasibility study, and so on. So let's not say launching a project, but starting the project in order to avoid confusion with bringing into operation. Because this is important, because there is a distance between starting a project and actually having the first ride. Nina wrote that we're happy with the confidence of Dr. Unitsky. The news is simply super. Thank you very much for your feedback, dear friends, for your enthusiasm. And I'm very happy that you finally saw, let's call it informational proof of what we predicted last year. And now Dr. Unitsky is starting to showing facts of things already happening and things that will happen in the near future on the near horizon of the development of the string transportation technology, or let's put it this way, practical commercialization. So what I wanted to point out, dear colleagues, in here, you know what I noticed most, which was the last question asked to Dr. Unitsky in that video. I would like to single out his unique resilience, persistence, and hardworking nature, and how easy it comes to him to address hard tasks. Just think about it, how easy it comes to Dr. Unitsky to address quite complex set of tasks and issues. And he's able to solve technological tasks that has never been solved before, in the form of creating a sector by implementing Unitsky string transportation technology. And it comes so easy to him. Have you noticed it? In terms of energy, in terms of his involvement in the process. And I was and have been always impressed, and I never stop surprising how hardworking he is and where he takes all that energy. And I guess the secret, as he said, oh, you know what Alexander says, that it's not just easy. He's like a virtuoso, like a maestro. Indeed. And I remember Dr. Unitsky once said that he never has holidays, he never takes days off, always working. And I can relate to that. And he emphasized that the most interesting solutions in terms of innovations or novelties in his technologies always happened or occurred to him during holidays. See, and I know the schedule of Dr. Unitsky. Indeed, during, let's say, leisure period or rest period for the entire world, when the entire world is taking a break and relaxing, and for Dr. Unitsky, relaxation means working. But actually, it's not work. It's about creation. It's creative work. That's the good word for it. And this is the key to Dr. Unitsky's success and his team's success. And also, of course, with the financial support of the crowd investing community across the entire world. And this kind of synergy, dear friends, if you allow me to use this word, gives strength and energy to Dr. Unitsky. And you see how many travels Dr. Unitsky makes, different flights and negotiations. Well, I will tell you more about it later, about some of the exclusive things. But even now, we know that the company is going into the American market, United States, and Dr. Unitsky regularly makes business trips there, and also he works in the CIS region and the United Arab Emirates region, but not only. And in my opinion, this should inspire every single investor into the string transportation technology, that the company is headed by a person who is capable of working 24/7 without breaking under external influences or without allowing external influences to negatively affect him, but instead making him stronger if something goes south. That's what I wanted to point out. What else I wanted to mention? Today you mentioned about the wide commercial project geography, a geography of commercial projects, and some of the projects that are already being practically implemented. I'm talking about signing of memorandums, contracts, and design. Even in those projects that are already in progress, we have a very wide geography. We are basically present on almost all continents. I'm not talking about neighboring countries or a narrow circle of countries. We're talking about entire continents. So the geography of the company is growing, not only in terms of countries, but continents, which means a lot. And this is what we were all striving for the UST group of companies to achieve such results, because a project in Nepal is one continent, Asia, right? Indonesia and India, we can call them a separate subcontinent. Then talking about the United States, it's a completely different continent across the ocean. Then we have projects in the CIS region, which is Eurasian continent, Eastern Europe or Western Asia, if you will. I guess Antarctica is the only continent where Dr. Unitsky is not planning to use UST technology, which is inspiring for me as well. And I will dwell on a specific project, and Dr. Unitsky mentioned it as well, but as Alexander wrote here, it is very good diversification indeed. So for us, eventually it won't matter if one of the projects gets frozen, suspended, or something is going to change. And Dr. Unitsky mentioned that as well in his video when answering questions. He said that there are a lot of external factors that can affect basically any process, starting from negotiation processes to, for example, political officials' terms of office coming to an end, and then you have to go through all the negotiations and approval rounds again, and approval of funding, etc. And the group of companies already has such cases, like in Ukraine, for example, where there were actual 2 projects, and I was involved in one of them, and the municipality made an advance payment too, but then you know what happened, and now it has all gotten frozen. In other countries and cities, mayors are changed, and in other countries, other officials come in place of the previous officials, and other unforeseen circumstances. But take into account the diversification mentioned by Alexander, it is indeed very, very solid. And one of our partners, I remember, wrote about Nepal. If the project in Nepal goes well, everything is going to be fine. If not, we're going to go bankrupt. But of course, that's not the case. Not a single failed project will be able to affect negatively the scaling up of the technology, simply because of the wide geography. And during previous meetings, I did my best to explain it. Those 220 projects mentioned by Dr. Unitsky at different stages. Some of them are at the negotiation stages, and they can last from 1 week to 7 years, for example, 8 years. But then negotiations end, and then the stage, like in Nepal, starts, like signed by the Prime Minister. There it took 4 years, the negotiations. In the United Arab Emirates, negotiations took 8 years. But now we're drawing closer to this final stage of receiving the funding and start the design. So all the negotiations that the company is holding, and the company has dozens, hundreds of them. And going by Pareto law, out of 100%, at least 20% will be successful. 80 to 20, remember? So the doubts that our investors might have shouldn't be there. They shouldn't have them, because we're already at the stage when we well beyond the stage of being a venture project, and we are now finally an investment initiative project with 2 ready-to-be-used commercial products that are in demand, and that demand is going to grow. And the next milestone in the development of commercial project would be to start construction works, which is not very far off. It's not going to happen tomorrow, but ahead of us, it is ahead of us. Moreover, let me emphasize that the first commercial pilot project that showcased the string transportation technology and that went through all the milestones from inception to becoming a real project, starting again from design to construction, land allocation, approval, then local authorities approval, certification, and bringing into operation. And now the company starts receiving commercial profits from the usage of the technology. I'm talking about the Unilight. This is the first swallow, or the first early bird, remember? And last time I also told you that you'll see that in 2025 we will witness a growing number of such projects. And those of you who attend our meetings regularly must remember me saying that and making this prediction that is now coming actually true. And for us, it is a reasons to have more and more confidence in our decision that we made many years ago by supporting the string transportation technology and Dr. Unitsky personally. And let me congratulate all of us on that. And I would like also to point out, dear friends, that, in my opinion, and this is also the opinion of Dr. Unitsky, it is very important right now to make sure that the US project is successful. And it is a commercial project too. And why this project will affect the capitalization of our parent company, GTI. Does everyone understand why this project is one of the most important projects in the next 3 to 5 years? In your opinion, why? And I, of course, gave a detailed explanation when we discussed this topic in the past, but I would like to ask you right now, why at this stage of the development of commercial projects, the US project is, well, first of all, why it is a commercial project for UST, and the second part of the question is why this project is one of the most important projects and most responsible project for us. And Dr. Unitsky mentioned it in his video, but I would like to hear your opinion as well. Maya says, this is the first commercial project. Well, not exactly. Remember, Maya, the first commercial project was Unilight project, which was launched in December 2024, which is the months of its being brought into operation. Dear colleagues, don't be shy. Write your answers. Anton says, because the United States is access to the biggest capital in the world, and it's a huge boost in reputation. Indeed, I agree. It's also about reputation. And in terms of investment and finance, well, we know that the United States, in this way or another, sets the trends, right, in the financial world, financial culture for investors. And this is the country that basically gave birth to stock trading and stock exchange and companies going public, and then thousands of percent of interest returns of investments, etc. So I agree. Dmitry says, just because it's the United States, no need for further explanation. Dmitry says, well, you are kind of right. I understand what you mean, because the United States is the leading economy in the world. And going back to my previous words, it is very important in terms of, it's a financial investment capital of the world. I agree. Alexander says, implementation of high-speed transportation and going to the global market of high-speed passenger transportation. Well, I agree. Maya says, we're going to have high-speed track there and UST laboratory. Well, as Tatiana wrote, it's going to be a hub showcasing already two existing types of transportation, high-speed transportation too, passenger and cargo, which will be integrated into the entire complex sector. So basically, it's two existing types of transportation will be integrated into the high-speed transportation. And also, Dr. Unitsky plans to implement his other inventions there, such as Uterra project, which is humus, a fertile soil that allows you to revive dead soil into fertile soil, and fertile soil to make fertile soil even more fertile. And Olga says, because it's going to be funded by Americans, but not only, but yes, the American market too. Vlastimil wrote, because GTI has 5% stake in the American company. Yes. Tatiana says all types of transportation will be added there or showcased there, represented. Yes, I agree. All existing types of string transportation. Olga says it's a commercial project because the company is going to receive profits, revenues from it. And it is important because it will depend on the closure of all the stages of development and reputation in the market. So Olga nailed it. hit the nail on the head with just one caveat. Indeed, friends, we need to understand here that the UST hub in the United States is first and foremost about placing orders with the UST engineering company, and we are co-owners. What is our stake in UST? Give me answer to this question, please. Dear colleagues, you must have misheard me. Again, UST group of companies are co-owned by us 100%. So it all belongs to GTI. And GTI owns 100% stake in UST. So the correct way to call it would be GTI group of companies that includes UST, which is string transportation technology structure. By structure, I mean group of legal entities. So everything that is going to be implemented in the United States is a process that will take from 3 to 5 years. Please tell me, in 3 to 5 years, will high-speed transportation generate some kind of revenues? Well, probably not yet, because it will be in the process of development, creation. And our 5% stake will start bringing fruit once the high-speed transportation is certified and tested, and once the first orders for high speed will be placed. And that's when we'll start receiving our dividends from that 5% stake. And we should realize it, understand it, that it's going to happen at least in 3 to 5 years. And Dr. Unitsky decided to capitalize what we already have. And he did what he did, the decision. I'm talking about the decision the company has taken. But within those 3 to 5 years, UST and GTI will receive at least $150–200 million for design works, also orders for rolling stock, and a whole number of different income articles that will be, and works that will be performed by UST. So in the near 3 to 5 years, currently, the project in the United States for UST is the biggest scale project in terms of money and significance. And over that time, the money that will be raised for the American hub, as it was mentioned, will be raised both on the American market from Americans, but also there will be foreign investors as well. And we too will be able to increase our investment portfolio with the pre-IPO shares in high-speed transportation. But the main focus will be made on the local market, fundraising focus. But again, part of that money will be spent on design, which will be performed by UST, and GTI has 100% stake in UST. So you take 150 million revenues, deduct costs from it, you get net profit. So in other words, we will be already able to earn something from the US project. This is the takeaway then we need to have. You follow the train of my thoughts, right? So dear friends, I will not take your questions for now, because we will follow our procedure. First, it will be me talking, and then you ask your question and I answer those questions. This is our tradition already. So dear friends, please tell me, would you like to receive exclusive information about what's happening in the US, what kind of works are being carried out there, and to learn some exclusive information with direct broadcast by Dr. Unitsky from there? People are saying, of course. Someone says, that would be so cool. Everyone says, yes, of course. Super. Alexander wrote super. I see some kind of fireworks emojis as well. So you would be very much interested that it would mean a lot of positive emotions. So especially for our platform, for RSW Systems platform, on the 7th of June, we're going to have live broadcast by Dr. Unitsky. He will be broadcasting from the United States, from where he will give us an exclusive interview telling us what's happening in the United States right now, and he will tell us what kind of results we have so far, what we've achieved so far, working on the financial legal framework in the United States in terms of land search and allocation, with regards to attraction of investors. So what companies we have collaboration already or will have in the near future from both from the governmental sector, public sector and private sector. And we will have an exclusive information delivered by Dr. Unitsky himself on the 7th of June, which will happen at around 7 p.m. Central European time. It will be midday in the United States. Dr. Unitsky is already there. He's been there already 24 hours. He is on a business trip to the United States. So on the 7th of June, we're going to have some exclusive information personally from Dr. Unitsky with a direct airing, broadcasting from the United States. And for our platform, RSW Systems, it's going to be the first time ever when Dr. Unitsky, as the author and the owner of the technology, will be giving such a direct live interview. And also as a chief designer of the engineering school and our spiritual, leader, if you will. And people are saying, this is quite a surprise, so cool, good idea, wonderful, hooray, someone wrote. Again, good idea. It was written by our participants. Yes, and indeed, it is supposed to get together our entire crowd investing community around GTI, and it's going to be a very exclusive event. And as Alexander wrote, it's going to be like New Year's news bulletin. I think it's going to be even a better than New Year's news bulletin, because this meeting will be attended by Mr. Zaretsky, CEO of Discovery, the United Arab Emirates company. Then we'll have also Deputy Director Mr. Petrov from the String Transportation Inc. He is Deputy Director for Marketing, who will tell us more about the commercial projects of the company. We will not talk about how many projects the company has. We all know how many projects it has. We'll talk about something different. We will discuss how work is built or organized, in terms how easy or difficult process it is, how labor intensive it is. So we will dive deeper into this process through talking to the respective directors. We will talk about some of the processes that happen behind the curtain. And I would like to have as many people present at that meeting as possible. So what I recommend, dear friends, is that you come to that meeting, that you invite your clients, partners, investors into the string transportation technology, who have been investors for many years now. I recommend you invite people who have been on the fence all this time and who have been simply observing the technology but haven't become investors yet. And I'm sure that for such participants, this meeting is going to be very huge motivation to understand the entire working process, what kind of achievements we have had so far, and what prospects are ahead of us in the near future, this year, the next year, and the year that follows. Yes, Maya, it's going to happen on Saturday, on the 7th of June, a wonderful day, summer day, and when most of you, I think, will be able to attend. It's going to be held in the evening, and you will be able to hear the exclusive news firsthand news that has never been heard by anyone before from among the crowd investing community. We are going to have a recording of that meeting. It will be published on our website, on our YouTube channel. We will have at least 7 languages. We're going to have Russian, English, Hindi, Spanish, Italian, Vietnamese, and what was the 7th language? Probably French. We're gonna have 7 languages where we're going to give the opportunity to everyone to hear this exclusive news in their own language. So probably, if necessary, we will have this meeting translated into other languages, if requested so by our investors. Yes, we are going to raise the bar, of course. We are going to also improve the delivery of the information. Tatiana says, give us the information, Maxim, give us the link. We're going to invite everyone. Of course, we're going to publish this news. We're going to do it next week. We're going to have probably preliminary registration to that event. We will see how many participants we will be able to have in Zoom. At least 500, probably 1,000, probably even 5,000 tops. So the first thing to remember, 7th of June, 7 p.m., but it might be changed depending on Dr. Unitsky's schedule in the United States, but the date is the 7th of June. Let me tell you right away, probably we might push it to the 8th of June. In other words, it might be either Saturday or Sunday. It will depend on Dr. Unitsky's schedule. But anyways, it's going to be the first week of summer. Well, yes. I think it will be a week to remember, I'm sure. The 7th or 8th of June, those are the days. Those are the days that we plan to have the event. Also, at that event, I will announce the official launch date of our updated platform, Micron Global. We will see and hear a very interesting presentation, and I will show you part of that presentation today, showing that for all our clients, RSW system clients, current and future clients of Micron Global, will have a very unique instrument tool that will help you increase your sales, facilitate your work to make sure that on the new platform you will be able to build your career and have an easy system of duplication that can be used by anyone on this planet. Remember, I told you about the augmented reality app. And remember, I told you that we're going to have a focus group. And with the help of that focus group, we will test this application together. We will see together how this app help you increase your conversion rate. In other words, increase the number of people with whom you will close the deal, who will invest into the technology. How easy it is to use. Literally tomorrow, I'm going to have the news published. But before I continue, let me show you, dear friends, I'll give you a small spoiler, what will be part of the tomorrow's news. And I'm talking about the explanation from the founder or the mastermind behind this tool, Dmitry Slusar. And right now, dear friends, I would like you to watch. Give me a second, please. Watch the video together that shows why we are creating a focus group and why we're going to have such testing of this app. Elena says, we have the most exclusive information on our platform. Thank you very much, Maxim, for your work. And Elena, thank you very much for your feedback. This is just the beginning. What we've prepared so far and what we're going to do in summer 25, dear friends, I'm sure throughout the entire 11 years of crowd investing, the approach that we're going to use has never been seen before. And I'm not just saying that. I would like you to realize that yourselves in the next 6 to 7 months, and then choose the correct platform and choose the correct team you would like to move forward in the development of the string transportation technology. So let me give you a small spoiler, dear friends, of what's ahead of you in terms of augmented reality instrument tool, Admix Reality. I'm going to show it to you, a video. We will watch it together, and afterwards I will continue. Just give me a second. So Yelena is saying, we've been waiting for it for so long. Yes, we all have been waiting for it for so long. So let me optimize the everything. Dear friends, I hope you can see my screen. Can you? Good, good. So let's go. How to convey the scale of UST technology when it's so hard to imagine for the average person. How to build trust, not with words, brochures, slides, or even polished videos, but in a way that makes someone simply look and say, wow, now I see what you mean. You have my attention. That's been my dream for years. And I know it's yours too. When you try to explain the idea of string transportation and all you get back are doubts, questions, confusion, or rejection, it's easy to feel discouraged. You say all the right things, you cover all the right bases, but somehow it just doesn't land. We've been through it for years. And the more we faced those reactions, the more we searched for something that truly works, something we could rely on, and finally we created it. A tool that quite literally brings UST technology to life, right here, right now, in your smartphone. No slides, no guesswork, no lengthy explanations. The person just sees it. Not an idea, not a fantasy. They see reality, and they believe. And in that moment, the whole conversation shifts. Doubts turn to curiosity. A listener becomes a partner. This is not just another presentation gimmick. This is a proven, powerful tool that changes the rules of the game. We've tested it for years in business, at trade shows, in creative work, in conversations with people from all backgrounds and walks of life, even where language was a barrier. And trust us, it's worth your attention. Today we are launching a focus group of just 100 participants who will be the first to test this tool in real work settings. You will feel it in action. You'll watch communication barriers disappear, and you'll see how hard it will be to go back to the old ways. This is an experience you won't forget, and a tool that works from the very first seconds. Spots are limited, so act now. To learn how to join, check the news update or the description below this video, and most importantly, while others still have to spell it out, UST technology is coming to life right in your hands, right here, right now. We'll see you in the focus group. Wow, wow, wow. So many pleasant comments, feedback I can see. I really didn't expect such a reaction. I would like to try it. This is something genius, incredible. I see hearts emojis. Such a huge, wonderful app. I'm from Belarus. It's simply on fire. It would be so great if we could have this instrument back in 2014, 2015. But that instrument was first used in 2017, by the way. I would like to become part of the focus group. Not bad, Dmitry says. I would like to try it. Let me tell you more. This tool developed by Dmitry and his team, and I also participated in the development of it. This tool, as Dmitry said in his video, has been tested for many years now in different settings. This app was even used by the engineering company itself during its presentations, not only to potential customers, but also to sheikhs and high-ranking officials. I personally used this app in my presentations, not even presentation, when I showed, you know what, when Dr. Unitsky mentioned in his last video that we discussed today, he mentioned a project in Ukraine where a contract was signed. So with those colleagues, with the representatives of the city, we went to the expected route where we're planning to build it. Dmitry will show probably a small video with the expected route to be laid, and I used that application when working with the customer within this commercial project. Then we signed the contract, the company received the down payment for it, but Dr. Unitsky mentioned it in his video, but because of the current geopolitical event, conflict, the project didn't come through. So this app was developed together with the colleagues from the String Transportation Technologies Inc. and Dmitry, as the author of the app, was able to take the 3D renders from the company and turn it into augmented reality. And as Alexander wrote, that the first tests have been run and the app has proven its viability. Yes, when you first start showing it to your prospects, it will be difficult to pry your phone away from their hands, take it away from their hands. Indeed, they will simply be glued to the screen. And you knowing what string transportation is, that it already exists somewhere in reality, and you already are awed by watching it on the phone, on the screen. Imagine the reaction of people who've never seen before those technologies, and they will see it for the first time on their phones. And the reason we would like to have this focus group is to show the test participants how to use this tool in their marketing efforts to make sure that as many investors as possible come to the string transportation technology, and you wouldn't spend hours on presentations and explanations. Everything will be done for you by this app. Of course, there is a specific procedure, correct questions, correct pitch, sales pitch made. And for that, we are putting together a focus group. Spots are limited. We're going to have 100 participants, probably 150 maximum, but the first focus group will be 100 participants. We're not going to make it bigger, 150 probably, because we prioritize quality over quantity to make sure that we convey both the marketing side and technical side of it while we're getting ready for the launch of the Micron Global. Meanwhile, we will do our own work within the focus group. We will show how to use this tool effectively. And it's very important to understand that this tool is not only for your offline prospects when you will be meeting them in person. This tool can be also used in social media as well. And how to do that and how efficient it's going to be, you will learn in the focus group. So all the focus group participants will receive that app for free during the test period. And then there will be some kind of a reward program or discount program for those who will show the best performance. When the Micron Global is launched, this app will be our main tool. So the conditions for using this app and how you can purchase it, how you can get access to it, will be learned once the platform is launched. But for now, we would like to test it in real-life settings for marketing purposes, for practical purposes, to see how effective it is in terms of attracting new investors, new partners into your network, so that you would see the results first. And then we're going to talk about other aspects of it, how to get this app forever. And as far as the price is concerned, subscriptions, etc., all of it will be announced during the launch of the platform. So let's not run ahead of ourselves. Let's test it, see the results, and then you will be pleasantly surprised with the price, I'm sure. Alexander says, it's going to be very easy to work with people. I agree, because it is intuitive and it is easy to understand that all the pieces of the puzzle will fit in. But let me not you overflood with information, give you too much inside information. Everything will be mentioned and said in the focus group. So tomorrow we're going to make the announcement that we're putting together a focus group. So do not miss out on this opportunity. Again, the spots are limited, as Dmitry said. And of course, first come, first serve, right, as they say. So friends, use that opportunity. Especially, I would like to remind you that right now, until the end of the month, we still have a promotion running, 1 to 76, discount 76. And the sooner you start using that app, if we have the possibility to give the access to all willing, you will still be able to take advantage of both the app and the current promotion and help your potential clients to take advantage of this wonderful discount 76 with the potential of raising it to 84. Why I'm saying 84? Because if you pay for the package in one go, you will get 10% extra to the number of shares, pre-IPO shares included in the package, right? 76 plus 10% makes it roughly 84. So let me recap. First of all, let me tell you that all the risks are already behind. Why? Because in the last video that we saw this week from Dr. Unitsky, he mentioned the scale and the geography of the commercial aspects of the implementation of the products. I'm talking about passenger and cargo transportation. We're talking about dozens of projects in the pipeline at different milestones. And some of them are already at the stage of down payments and so on and so forth. So the risks here are very, very small. And I would say almost zero, very close to zero. So let's do this recap one by one of what we've discussed so far. Ahead of us, we have an exclusive meeting with Dr. Unitsky and top managers of UST group of companies on the 7th of June. We're going to learn all the recent news about the biggest commercial project of UST, which is to be implemented in the United States. And on the 7th of June, we will learn from Dr. Unitsky exclusive information about the results and achievements so far in this particular area. And here, dear friends, it is very important to understand, let me emphasize it again, that for us, despite the fact that GTI group of companies will have just 5% stake in high-speed transportation, seemingly a small stake, but no, it is quite a considerable stake. And in the next 3 to 5 years, for us, the US project is a priority project because it is the monetary-wise, it is the biggest project. Its estimated value is $700 million for 3-5 years. And out of those $700 million, UST will receive at least $150–200 million in the form of orders. For us, it is very important commercial project because out of that money, profits will be generated by UST and GTI will share in those profits because we are 100% co-owners. Indeed, this is a very important, responsible project, significant project for all of us in the near future. So it is my deep belief that it will be very important for us to hear that from Dr. Unitsky in this type of format as exclusive news about this project. Next, friends, we're getting closer to the launch of the updated Micron Global platform. Where we're going to use the cutting-edge tools. And one of such tools we've witnessed not so long ago. I'm talking about the augmented reality app, which is called Admix Reality, which allows us to treat our business as creative process. In the focus group, we will show you how creative you can be in your work, the customized approach you can use, how easy it can be. Dmitry Slusar said, we don't need to spell out things, spend hours explaining when making our investment pitch. All the answers are in your smartphone and practically in any contemporary smartphone. Of course, if you have like a analog button phone, then probably you won't be able to use it. But if it's a smartphone, most probably you will be able to use it. What matters is that you have internet connection. What else? You will hear from me and probably from Dr. Unitsky himself about the event in autumn 2025. But here I'm not going to give you any spoilers. We will announce it on the 7th of June at 7 p.m. European time. We will tell you more about the plans ahead of us and events ahead of us. Someone wrote, Alexander, I think it was Alexander, that the event in June will be comparable to the end of the year reporting meeting at the end of 2024, 2023. But for us, it will be even something bigger because this is the first time we're having a meeting in such a format on our platform. So friends, I'm very happy about your feedback. Thank you for that. I'm also happy that you are very positive. Your reaction is very positive towards the recent news about the company development, about its marketing strategy, about its diversification of its operations, starting from its engineering operations to commercial projects. I would even here emphasize that the R&D center, the R&D operations are also diversified, because we'll have R&D centers on 3 continents. We're going to have it in Eastern Europe, in the Arabian Peninsula, Middle East, and then we're going to have one R&D center in the United States. So basically we cover 3 regions to showcase the technology. And the United States, we're going to have a hub that is showcase the entire sector. So we are on the right track, on the right path. We did make the right decision. And now we can observe, witness how our dreams from back 2014, 2020 start becoming a reality, coming true. So we, as the platform RSW Systems or Micron Global, will be most active. We'll have the most active involvement in it. We will use crowd investing to implement not only the string transportation technology, I'm talking about pre-IPO shares of the parent company, but also help implement other inventions, other technologies devised by Dr. Unitsky. But we will cover more of that on July, August 2025, once the Micron Global platform is fully up and running. It will be in full swing, and then the format of our operations will change, of course, and then we will gradually start better understanding how investment crowdfunding or crowd investing will be implemented more, integrated more and more into everyone's everyday life, because crowd investing is a business meant for dozens of years ahead, for many generations ahead. Why so? I will explain and provide arguments for it at a later stage. So, dear friends, I would like to express my gratitude for your attendance, for being here with us. We had around 100 people with us here. Usually we have 2,500 people watching the recording on YouTube. I think this meeting will be watched by those people as well. But I suggest what you do is share the link to the recording of this meeting with people who didn't attend this meeting, with as many people as possible who didn't attend this meeting. Show it to other people who are not yet investors, and then get them ready for the 7th of June, for the meeting with Dr. Unitsky. It's going to be an exclusive event. This is something that we've been waiting for so long, to understand what has been achieved so far in 2025, and what kind of results have been achieved in the United States. And friends, do not forget, only 1 week is left until the promotion is over. And let me remind you that such a profitable promotion are very rare, and we will have just one more similar promotion. I will not tell you when and what kind of discount we're going to have, but this current promotion is the last but one. I'm talking the May promotion. Next, the discounts are going to be very much different once we launch the Micron Global platform, while we announce the countdown, when the let's say the possibility to join the project will be ended. So we won't have, let's call it a free lunch anymore, because right now it's indeed almost like a free lunch. And thank you very much for your feedback, for your kind words. I will read some of your comments because, of course, you wrote it, you put efforts in it. Dmitry said, thank you. Olga says, every meeting is like a bomb on my soul. Thank you very much. Maya says, thank you, Maxim. Everything is cool. Valentina says, thank you for your meeting. Alexander says, the meeting was awesome. Tatiana says, thank you very much, Maxim, for cool news. Elena wrote, Thank you. It was interesting as always. Nina says, thank you very much. This is how it's going to be. Let it be. Obama wrote, thanks that much. Stay blessed, brother. Well, I know what it means. Thank you very much. Olga says, thank you. Raisa says, thank you very much for very good news. We have a lot of work ahead of us, and this is good news for us. Natalia says, thank you very much. Respectfully yours, Natalia. Nikolai says, thank you. Lydia says, thank you very much. Stoyanova Stefka says, thank you. Gulzia says, good news. John Matthew says, very informative. Well, thank you very much for your feedback. Your feedback inspires me too, because I realize that the work I'm doing together with my team brings fruit, is productive, and of course, for me, it is an incentive. It's good feedback for me. It allows me to understand that I'm also on the right track, that I'm prioritizing well, and this is the information you enjoy. Thank you very much, friends. Again, thanks, and let me remind you, only 1 week is left until the end of the unique discount promotion. And the next one, after the platform is launched, will happen somewhere in the future, but is also going to be short and limited time only, and other kind of discount. And this current discount is opportunity for you to increase your personal portfolio and to attract other investors. Remember that even from your personal sales, you can make a very decent commission for the sales made into your first line to your personal invitees. Thank you very much, dear friends, and see you in 1 week. We're going to meet on Thursday, on the 29th of May, same time, 7 p.m. GMT +3. Probably there will be a meeting on Tuesday, but I'm waiting for the occasion. If it happens, we will have a meeting. If not, then we will have our regular meeting on Thursday, next Thursday. This is it from me. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Have a nice evening, and have some productive work until the end of the month of May.